My name is Phil Henderson. I'm a customer success engineer at Buoyant. Today I'm going to be talking about API management in the CRD world and what Linkerd has learned. Again, my name is Phil Henderson. Usually there's social media stuff on this page. I don't have any social media, so you cannot find me. You can find me on GitHub and any of the CNCF Slacks at Phil. Other than that, I'm an enigma. You won't be able to find me on the internet. What is Linkerd? Linkerd is a service mesh. You've already been told what a service mesh is today, but what you may not have known is Linkerd was the first service mesh. We're the ones who created the word service mesh. And what we do is bring security, reliability, and observability to your workloads. In that order, no exceptions. All in an ultralight package developed in Rust. Again, regardless of what other ones may tell you, Linkerd is still the easiest to use and most secure service mesh out there. It just works, zero config. You add an annotation to your namespace, and everything's meshed. It's ultralight, it's simple, and it's secure by default with MTLS. You can look up all the statistics online. You see our control plane, our data plane take a very minimum footprint, and again, because it's based on Rust. But regardless of that, today I'm here talking about how we manage CRDs in the API management world. We use CRDs. Most people use CRDs. Kubernetes as a whole encourages CRDs. Kubernetes is not helping us as a whole with CRDs, though. We use shared CRDs. This is mostly in the Gateway API project right now, but this is just the beginning. We'll see more in the future. And we try really hard to keep our CRDs simple. One of the main goals of Linkerd is to keep things simple. So when we start developing things, the first question we ask is how is this going to affect people from developers to SREs and anyone between? Again, we use CRDs. Kubernetes encourages CRDs, but it's really hard to get a new API in the core Kubernetes. Has anyone done it? Anyone tried? Any maintainers here doing that? There's one. There, see? Very difficult. We only have one in the crowd of 300 people, 400 people. It's really easy to add CRDs, though, and we can go overboard. Who's created their own operator and CRDs in here? Who has gone overboard with their CRDs? Or who will admit that they've gone overboard with their CRDs, I may say, right? Yeah. It can be unpleasant, right? Versioning CRDs is really hard. We have the little version field in our CRDs, but it doesn't really do exactly what we've always thought it did. We have things where we can, create webhooks or have perfect backwards compatibility. Who has always maintained perfect backwards compatibility? Yeah, that's what I thought. So lesson learned is we got to be very, very careful what we ship as an API. It should be all what a human needs to actually use. Again, we use shared CRDs. Kubernetes only manages the core API CRD or APIs for you. It does not manage CRDs. This makes shared CRDs tough. Who installs them? Who deletes them? Is it one project or the other? What if if one project deletes the CRDs it relies on? What is your application going to do? It's not going to have a great time. Lessons learned, don't try to install shared CRDs for your users. It seems like that's the right answer, but it's not. It causes problems in the long term when we have multiple projects using one like Gateway API. And again, it may be the only one right now, but there are going to be ones in the future. We try, like I said, we try really, really hard to keep our CRD simple. When we make decisions, our first question is, how will it affect developers and SREs and everyone in between? Configurability is the enemy, right? If, adding things no one needs has a real cost. Lessons learned, API should be tailored for humans who need to use them. If no human needs it, don't add it to your API. Take a good example of URLs. Do we go https google.com:443? No, we just know. We don't need to specify that. Adding port numbers doesn't help anyone. APIs can be unambiguous, but without being fully specified. Annotations, and I got 30 seconds to speed up. Root of evil or flexibility? Probably both. Annotations are great for experimenting, and Linkerd takes full advantage of that. Annotations can be fine for humans. The biggest concern is validating them. We use webhooks, and and it's not native. Right now, there's no way to validate that in Kubernetes, and fixing it may be hard. I'll have to speed up, apologies. If you only remember one thing, as I'm speeding up, two things, sorry. APIs need to be tailored to humans who need them, period. It seems simple, but trying to install CRDs for users hurts them more than it helps them. Learn from our mistakes and embrace these ideas. If you haven't heard, we have a Service Mesh Academy monthly. Scan the QR code, learn more about Service Mesh. We cover other things besides that. I got to speed up. Want to continue the conversation, come find us at our booth. If you disagree with some of the things I say or agree with them, come talk to me about it. I'd love to know your opinion. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vadim Bauer. I'm one of the co-maintainers of Project Harbor, and in the next 4.5 minutes, I would like to share with you how we are using the project or LFX mentorship program to our advantage, and how it's worked out for us in the last 2.5 years. So it's a brief recap of 2.5 years, 12 mentees later, and what we learned from that, and how it works for us. Well, for the context, if you don't know it, the LFX mentorship program is a program run by the Linux Foundation and CNCF, and it connects the mentors and mentees together to work on a project under guidance supervision. So they connect on a platform, those two parties together, and they provide a financial compensation for the mentees, which is nice. Who can apply? Everyone can apply, but what we see from the application that we get is that mostly students apply from the STEM sector, and mostly students from regions where there is a young population, which is India, not India, but I would say Asia and Africa. And when we started 2.5 years ago, when you get like 20 to 60 applications per term, you need to review this. There's like a lot of CVs that you need to review, conduct interviews, and you need to sift through all these AI applications that you get nowadays. And if you are attempting to write an application with solely AI, don't do it. Everyone sees it, everyone knows it, and you will get directly discarded, right? So don't do it. Even if you don't have much to say, don't say much, right? But even given that, we can sift out a lot of applications. There's a lot of work to do, right? And what we found out over the course is that people who are interested in open source and they would like to know what they actually signed up for, right? So they try to find out like, what did I sign up for? What is the thing doing that they're doing? What is Harbor doing? How does it work? How do I install it? How do I run it? What problems does it solve? And so people tend to ask questions about the product. And based on the engagement and the commitment and the incentive, we select our candidates, right? So it's, for us, the outcome is that we have to review much less CVs. I mean, we still review CVs, but not as a first process, but as a last process, right? Just to be certain. And I think it also has less bias, because based on the GitHub profile or the Slack handle, you don't see the person's gender, race, or whatever. And so far, it was worked great for us. We had one failed completion in the early beginning. We have one new project maintainers coming direct from the maintainer program. We have 2 employments, one directly in the open source world and one in a corporate world. We have two projects that we've been created as part of the mentorship program, a sub-project of Harbor. We don't let the mentees work on the core product because it's a lot of time consuming, and also oftentimes it's a bit critical, right? So we need to ship features, and here we can work on a way that it's done when it's done. And yeah, for us, it has been a great success. And I would say that if you're a mentor or you want to become a mentor for an open source project, you should definitely try this out. But be aware that the time frame mentees are working, it's like 3 months only. You cannot enroll the whole process of selecting the candidates. Yeah, you need to find innovative way how we can do this. And for us, the criteria of engagement works the best. Yeah, if you have questions, reach out to me. You can find me online. You can find me here. Thank you very much for your attention.